Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Y'all are gonna get tired of me saying that. I did clip it. I'm just not sure how to add it to my intro. So, how's everybody doing today? You know something I was thinking today? Uh, the Den. Yeah, I know it used to be Luna, or you're the Luna Den, or whatever. I was thinking, you know what would be great if, like, I know there's going to be the big channels that have their long lives and stuff, but the way each of us have our own little unique variety of things that we like to do, it would be neat if we had our own little workshop, like 2 hour lives, and then like we send them over to you, and then you send them over to, let's just say Daisy Joe, and then Daisy Joe sends them over to No Fear. And like, because I used to work for this company, and you could sign up for, say, I wanted to take Spanish, and I could go take Spanish for an hour, and then I could go sign up and take. Back then it was Lotus. Do y'all remember Lotus and Word Perfect? I'm telling my age. But yeah, you could like sign up for stuff like that, and everybody kind of got cross trained, and then you could kind of like fill in for each other when one was sick or something. Anyway, it was a neat way to network market, which is what we are doing as a team. You gonna be all right? You need your inhaler? Okay, so anyway, yeah, I could throw a 2 hour party. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, the things that you can teach us, each of you, will enlighten us as people. And I think that would be neat that we could learn something from each other. And, at the same time, we're helping network market each other and build each other up. So anyway, so today we were going to talk about bizarre, weird death row meals, last meals. Have you guys ever thought about what you would want your last meal to be if you were on Dead Man Walking? What would you want your final meal to be?
What would you want?
Me, I'd want fried chicken. I think everybody knows that. I'm juicy. I like to eat. So I would probably want fried chicken and pumpkin pie. So y'all tell me what some things that you guys would want for your last meal. God forbid. Brisket. Ooh, that sounds good. How do you make that? I've always wanted to learn how to make that. Brisket. And then seafood. I love seafood too. I could probably eat seafood every day and never get bored with it. A different type. Like, I really like salmon grilled or blackened on salad. Oh my God, that is so good. I love that. Or like Cajun catfish. I like that too. Or popcorn shrimp. You make yours in a smoker. That sounds so good. Tennessee Girl says Mexican food. Yes, ma'am. I love all kinds of food like that. Sarah smiles. Then you'd like living on the coast like I do. Hey, we wanted to talk to you about some lobster. Just wanted to throw that out. We'll get up later. I don't like anything spicy. Oh, really? So what would you want your last meal to be? You're Dead Man Walking, and this is your last meal. What would you want it to be? You got lots of lobster? I knew I liked you. I love lobster and crab legs. Charlie really loves crab legs. And sushi with a jug of moonshine. There you go.
You had sushi.
There you go. I had sushi yesterday, actually, for lunch. I can eat the heck out of that. Shrimp is my favorite, and I love crab cakes, says it's me. My Maryland friend made me best crab cakes I ever ate. Oh, gosh, that sounds so good. I've seen like lobster cakes too. I would like to try that.
Food truck guy does the lobster.
Would you like to come up on panel, Kenny? Yeah, there's a food truck that comes around to the college here. We have several colleges here in Winston-Salem. One in particular is Wake Forest University. And there is a lobster food truck that comes all the way from Charlotte and sets up there at the campus. And I think it's like $15. You get like a lobster roll and a drink, right? I think a lemonade. Yeah, I love good sushi too. I like sushi when it's freshly made and it's still just a little bit, the rice is still just a little bit warm. So, Sarah, what would you want for your last meal to be? She's thinking. Can you go turn his volume down or shut his door? That game is distracting.
Excuse me.
We've all had the sea in the house, and I think my husband is fighting it. He hasn't been feeling good, so that's why we haven't been going live as often. We've all been trying to fight the sea. So we've found a couple of videos on YouTube that we thought were interesting. I fry my shrimp with cornmeal instead of flour. Oh, yeah.
In America and other
scampi,
countries
maybe
with
lots
legal
of
capital punishment, there exists an last meal request was the notorious. In some states in America and other countries with legal capital punishment, there exists an interesting custom for criminals on death row. The infamous last meal. Convicted felons are granted the opportunity to select any food and drink of their choice within certain regulations on the eve of their execution. Here are some of the strangest meals ever recorded.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Y'all ready for this? Shrimp scampi, maybe lots of pasta, loads of garlic bread. I love anything with garlic. I do, and I love fried shrimp too. Can y'all hear the video okay? You're like being way too noisy. I know you're doing it on purpose because you do it every time. Stop. Stop. Okay.
Number 20. Victor Harry Fagger. In 1963, 28-year-old Victor Harry Fagger was sentenced to death by hanging for convicted kidnap murder. For his final meal, the young man had only one request: a single olive with the pit left in. After his execution, the olive pit was found inside Fagger's suit pocket, contributing to the popular belief that he intended to be buried alongside it so that the olive tree symbolizing peace would sprout from his grave. For a dangerous criminal, it's almost a touching sentiment. Number 9.
What would you think of that? What you ate turned into a tree after you downed death row. What do you think? There's some thinking that went into that. An olive tree at that. What do you guys think of that? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep going here.
19. Gerald Lee Mitchell. Jared Lee Mitchell's final meal was even sweeter than Fagger's, but in an entirely different sense. As he awaited his final moments on death row, Mitchell had only one thing on his mind when it came to his final meal: an assorted bag of Jolly Ranchers candy. After finishing the entire bag before facing the final curtain, it's safe to say this criminal intended to go out on a real sugar high. Number 18. Lawrence Russell Brewer. While some have a clear idea of the last thing they'll ever eat, Others are totally spoiled for choice. Taking full advantage of this unusual opportunity, convicted killer and white supremacist Lawrence Russell Brewer decided to indulge in an enormous feast in 2011. He requested 2 fried chicken steaks with gravy and onion, a triple bacon cheeseburger, a cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos, 3 fajitas, a meat feast pizza, a bowl of fried okra, a pound of barbecued meat with half a loaf of white bread, peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and a pint of Bluebell ice cream. All washed.
Okay, now we all know what happens right after you die. That is a lot of cleanup for mess hall. What do y'all think? That's a lot of, the chicken fried gravy there. That sounds good to me. Hey, Alicia, thank you for coming. What would you want your last meal to be, Alicia? I would go for like the southern stuff, definitely. He took a big load. He did.
Down with 3 root beers. In a final screw you to the justice system, though, Brewer refused to eat a morsel when the order arrived, claiming that he wasn't hungry. Texas Senator John Whitmire was so furious that he decided to ban the last meal request in the state, so future death row prisoners have Lawrence Russell Brewer to blame for regular prison slop. Number 7.
What do you think of that? One prisoner ruined it for everybody. Yeah, he turned it down though. He refused to eat it, and so the governor said no more last meal requests in the state of Texas. So now they don't even have that option there because of that one guy. Yeah. So.
17. John Wayne Gacy. Another felon who capitalized on his last meal request was the notorious serial killer John Wayne Gacy, otherwise known as the Killer Clown Pogo. For his final supper, Gacy ordered 12 fried shrimp, a bucket of original recipe KFC, french fries, and a pound of strawberries. Prior to his conviction, Gacy had managed 3 KFC.
We're sending prayers for you guys, Alicia.
Restaurants in his home city of Waterloo, and he clearly never got tired of that finger-licking goodness. Number 16. John Spinkalink. For some, food isn't the priority at all when it comes down to making a last order. Previously known as a heavy drinker, Spinkalink denied any special food to be prepared, but asked for a single flask of Jack Daniels instead, which he shared with the prison superintendent. After his death, the state of Florida's last meal provisions was revised to exclude alcohol altogether, but to be honest, going out while drunk doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Number 15. Eileen Wuornos. Eileen Wuornos also requested a beverage before taking her last breath in 2002, but of a different kind. A single cup of black coffee was all she wanted. It may seem like this request was her way of saying, don't even think about killing me before I've had my morning coffee, but Wuornos actually had far crazier motivations. In fact, she didn't believe she was going anywhere for long, as her notorious last words were, I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus June 6th. It's safe to say she still hasn't turned up yet.
A cup of coffee. Oh, so okay. Yeah, we're east of Polk County. Alicia says I should go right over us, so I don't know if that's good or bad. We are praying for you. Yeah, she wanted to be awake today. I don't think she needed any more uppers. She was kind of high strung, but also a hero nonetheless. Just kidding.
Number 14. Ricky Ray Rector. Ricky Ray Rector seemed to have similar motivations when it came to his last meal. Rector had ordered a tasty-sounding meal consisting of steak, fried chicken, and cherry Kool-Aid, followed by a slice of pecan pie. But he left his dessert untouched. When asked why he changed his mind on the sweet treat, Rector simply said he was saving it for later. Whether this was intended as an ironic joke or a sinister hint that his return in the afterlife was imminent is entirely up to you. Number 13. Timothy McVeigh. What this senseless killer ordered as his last hurrah might surprise you, given the seriousness of his crimes. All McVeigh wanted to eat before his execution in 2001 was 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream, though it's unclear whether one remained chilled as he guzzled down the first or simply melted into a puddle beside it. To be honest, for a man responsible for 168 innocent deaths, even melted ice cream seems far too generous.
Sarah says she wants to know if that other guy sprouted yet. Is he a tree? It's me says they should get mad about the guy not eating it. They should have said thanks and ate it for him. You know what I think they should have done? They should have given it to the other prisoners, you know? Or maybe the next death row guy that day that was, if they could nuke it, maybe. I still want to know if that, yeah, I already read that one. Okay, let's keep going here.
Number 12. David Leon Woods. Convicted murderer David Leon Woods spent a whopping 22 years on death row before he was put to death on May 4, 2007 in Michigan, Indiana. When the daunting moment finally came, Woods had a fairly simple request for his last meal. He chose a standard pizza and an entire birthday cake, both of which he shared with his family. As it turns out, his birthday was actually 3 months after his execution, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. Number 11. Thomas J. Grasso. Thomas J. Grasso was not the brightest of the bunch, and when Judgment Day came in 1995, his final meal request reflected his questionable life choices. He ordered a plethora of extravagant foods like 24 steamed clams, half a dozen barbecued ribs, a Burger King double cheeseburger, and 2 strawberry milkshakes, alongside a can of SpaghettiOs to be served at room temperature. When Grasso's meal arrived, he was served spaghetti and meatballs instead, a mistake he'd never forgive, as his final words were, "I did not get my SpaghettiOs. I got spaghetti. I want the press to know this." Number.
Damn it. I don't think they could see me over that. Is that hilarious? I wanted to give a damn SpaghettiOs. Damn it.
Number 10. Stephen Wayne Anderson. Grasso isn't the only one to throw a seemingly random ingredient into the mix when concocting the perfect final meal. Stephen Wayne Anderson was a pretty deadly criminal, but his food choices were interesting to say the least. Before his execution in California in 2002, the 48-year-old requested 2 grilled cheese sandwiches, a pint of cottage cheese, a hominy corn mixture, peach pie and chocolate chip ice cream, and, well, a big helping of radishes on the side. Number 9. Peter J. Minial. Convicted killer Peter J. Minial could give Lawrence Russell Brewer a run for his money for one of the biggest orders ever served on death row in 2004. Minial confessed to his crimes and was vocal about being ready to pay the price, but not before he gorged himself on this whopping order. He requested 20 beef tacos, 20 beef enchiladas, 2 double cheeseburgers, a pizza with jalapenos, fried chicken, spaghetti with salt, and a modest dessert of half a chocolate cake, half a vanilla cake, cookies and cream ice cream,
Holy cow!
caramel pecan fudge ice cream, and a small fruitcake. To wash it all down, he also had 2 lots of Coke, Pepsi, root beer, and orange juice. Maybe he intended to explode Henry VIII style before facing the music.
Do you think they should be allowed to order all that? What do you think? You know, I'm starving, I know, right? Who's making all this stuff? Are they ordering this stuff out? I mean, surely Mess Hall doesn't have all this stuff. Yeah. That sounds like what No Fear would order, Alicia said. Sarah says, they really let them order all that? Yeah, I know. Come on, he couldn't eat all that. They'd be feeding it to others. I agree. No Fear, Alicia is laughing. Yeah. What the hell?
Number 8. Velma Barfield. This sweet, God-fearing grandmother became known as the Death Row Granny. Velma Barfield was the first woman put to death in the U.S. in 22 years when she was executed by lethal injection in 1982. But not before she was granted one final meal. A cup of tea, a slice of coffee cake, or a fruit scone might be what you'd expect. But all Barfield really wanted was a packet of cheese doodles and a can of Coke. But for a devout Christian old lady who also killed 6 people, what can you really expect? Number 7.
Let's see, it's me. That's what I was thinking. What I order depends on where it comes from. Yeah, I mean, not everybody's gonna have fried chicken that tastes good. So I don't know, the cheese doodles. I know. Get out of town.
Robert Alton Harris. When you're ordering your final meal on death row, it's important to cover all bases. And why agonize over which takeaway to get when you can combine the lot? This is exactly what murderer Robert Alton Harris did in 1992 when he requested a 21-piece bucket of KFC and 2 large Domino's pizzas alongside a 6-pack of Pepsi with ice cream and a bag of jelly beans for dessert.
Will they give you beer? I wonder if you can get beer. I would like maybe wings and beer. That would be a good last. Yeah.
A packet of Camel cigarettes for good measure. Harris is most remembered for his final words, though, which were, "You can be a king or a street sweeper, but everybody dances with the Grim Reaper." Kind of prophetic for a seasoned criminal, don't you think? Number 6. Ronnie Lee Gardner. Plenty of death row criminals have used their final meal as an opportunity to make smart choices, and Ronnie Lee Gardner was certainly determined to make his sitting last as long as possible. He didn't go too overboard on his order of steak, lobster tail, apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and a 7-Up, but he also had another request: to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy while eating. Surprisingly, Gardner was permitted to do so, and with a combined runtime of more than 11 hours, this must have been the longest last meal ever. Number 5.
Yeah, I want to know if that lobster is coming from, mess hall. I mean, that's not going to be good. Yeah, and will they let you have a couple of shots? I mean, you're getting ready to die, for God's sakes. Let me have a shot of Crown, right?
Philip Workman. Gluttony was the last thing on Phillips's mind when he requested his final meal. His final request was for a large vegetarian pizza to be given to a random homeless person. But prison officials refused to do so, and he ate nothing. In a surprising turnout, on the day of his death on May 9th, homeless shelters in Tennessee received large amounts of vegetarian pizzas from people all over the country. So at least he did one good deed before his death. Number 4. Angel Nieves Diaz. Philip Workman may have gone hungry because of his strangely selfless request, but Angel Nieves Diaz deliberately turned down his last meal. As he didn't order anything special, Diaz was served the regular Wednesday prison menu of shredded turkey with taco seasoning, cheese, rice, pinto beans, tortilla shells, apple crisp, and ice cream. As surprisingly nice as that sounds, Diaz refused to eat that too, and in his final words he condemned the death penalty as a form of vengeance, but also a cowardly act by humans. Number 3.
I'm going to catch up my comments here. Let's see. Peach Crown. That sounds good. I didn't know they had that. It's me, Seb. Sarah Small says, if you get real drunk, it would probably help. Yeah, I would think you would be less combative and would just sort of hey, okay, let's get this on with, right? Alicia, did y'all know that prisoners in Alcatraz used to dine on shrimp, crab, and lobster daily because it was cheap and easy to get? Wow. It probably wasn't, a delicacy then, I know sometimes when you get a lot of something, then it's not really so great, It's me. I've never tried it, but I'm going to. It's me. No, nice, Alicia. It's me, Luna. Try it with pineapple juice and Sprite. Oh, that sounds so good. I like peach schnapps too, like a fuzzy navel.
Oba Chandler. For his last meal, he ordered 2 salami sandwiches on white bread with mustard and peanut butter, and a grape jelly sandwich on white bread with iced tea and the coffee. And with all that bread, it's safe to say, another one bites the crust. Number 2. Robert Dale Conklin. Conklin clearly had expensive taste as he requested filet mignon wrapped in bacon, deveined shrimp sauteed in garlic butter with lemon, baked potato with sour cream, chives, and real bacon bits, corn on the cob, asparagus with hollandaise sauce, French bread with butter, goat cheese, cantaloupe, vanilla bean ice cream, and iced tea.
Hey, April, good to see you. It's been a while. Good.
Number 1. James Edward Smith. This convicted felon had one of the most bizarre last meal requests ever recorded. When it came down to his final meal request in 1990, all he wanted was a lump of soil. Although some have speculated that he did indeed intend to chow down on the dirt, others have suggested he planned to perform a voodoo ritual as the soil was specified to be the Rayconda type, associated with witchcraft. As dirt was not on the list of foods permitted by prison regulation, Smith's request was denied and he was served a cup of yogurt instead. In some states in America,
What did y'all think of that? Some dirt. Yeah. I want some dirt. I've been waiting on this death row past all these appeals, and I just want some dirt. What do y'all think of that? What the hell kind of vitamin is he missing out on to be craving some dirt? I've seen those shows where they have those weird addictions, and dirt's one of them. Supposedly, it's your body craving a mineral that's in the dirt. I guess there's no yogurt spells with risk. Yeah. No taco spells and witchcraft. Yeah. So what did y'all think of that? What do y'all think what's been going on lately in our group? Do y'all have some neat ideas for the next month for Halloween shows? The Den and I were talking yesterday about maybe doing some sort of a costume contest, and you win a shirt or something. I don't know. That would be kind of neat to have a costume contest, and I don't know, something like that.
Something.
Maybe he was getting ahead of being put in the ground. Yeah, the dirt. A weird obsession video? Okay, I will definitely do that. There are some weird ones, aren't they? I like shows like that and like Hoarders. 5 days of spooky vids right before Halloween would be cool. Yeah, that would be good. I'm gonna do like a murder mayhem macabre month, and that's why I've got people like Albert DeSalvo, which is the Boston Strangler. I'm going to talk about that. Some old cases. I want to talk about Ed Gein and how several movies are based off him. House of a Thousand Corpse. What's that one with the chainsaw? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know that's based off Ed Gein. Psycho is based off Ed Gein. And so is Hello, Clarice. That movie, that's also based off of Ed Gein. What's the name of that one? Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. My nephew was friends with this black couple. They had dinner with them one night, and he said they had a bowl of dirt. They said most black people eat dirt pretty regularly. What? That must be a regional cultural thing. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Wasn't that a weird movie? I have a costumes party we have to do, couple one. I can't come up with anything. It's driving me nuts. Wanted something funny. Oh, gosh. Have you seen the ponytail Pepsi bottle? That's pretty neat. Or it's like makes it look like it's a fountain drink, and it's your ponytail. The TV show Hannibal was crazy and intense. Yeah, the cannibalism thing is kind of weird. You know what I read about Dahmer? Sorry, guys, I've been here but couldn't chat. My son informed me that his JROTC teacher made fun of him today for stuttering. Oh, I'm sorry, Daisy Joe. That's horrible. I've had issues with my children in school and bullying. I wound up homeschooling them. I'm sorry about that. Did you talk to the ROTC teacher? I may dress up like strawberry shortcake for my daughter's party. That's cute. Strawberry shortcake. I'm sorry that happened, Daisy Joe. There's no excuse for that. These kids are getting terrorized in school, and there's no recourse. Who are they going to talk to? Yeah, I had to homeschool. They were having anxiety, and that's enough for me. So, yeah, Daisy Joe, I'm sorry about that. Do you want to come up on panel and vent? You want to drop her a link, see if she wants to come up? Grab that link and come up and vent. Get it off your chest. You don't have to show your face. I'm not too happy. He's in 8th grade. He has always had an IEP. They do not do that in high school, so he probably isn't where he needs to be anyways. No.
But individualized educational.
Are you in the South? If you are, I would definitely consider homeschooling. We did something called, and look it up, called unschooling, where it's nothing like curriculum at school. Because for mine, they were so, one in particular, my youngest son is autistic, and he's traumatized from school. Like, you know, so even bringing it up, so we unschooled, which is, none of the crap that they do at school. Taking them to the supermarket can be an educational experience. Everything that you do in daily life, measuring out coffee, that's an educational experience. You just got to seize those opportunities. It doesn't have to be in a classroom by somebody else that doesn't really care about your kid. And I'm not saying anything against educators. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of admiration for them. But I didn't mean to do that. Can you fix that for me? I was trying to read it and I pressed it too hard. But I've said before, I have learning disabilities that were never diagnosed. I was born in 1970, and if they didn't want to deal with you, they put you in the back of the class and they just kind of forget you. They don't really spend a lot of time with you. Didn't know what to do with you, maybe that's it. But I knew at a young age that I was a problem for teachers and that they didn't like me. So I didn't like going to school. And my mom knew that. And I was the baby and was probably a little bit more spoiled than my older siblings, but she would let me. I would get so bad anxiety. I would have horrible stomach pain, stomach cramps. And she would let me stay home from school and, write me a note. And one year I missed 30 days from sixth grade because there was one boy in particular that I'm actually friends with now as an adult who sat in front of me in sixth grade and picked on me relentlessly. And like I said, he's a friend of mine now as an adult. But then as a child, I didn't know how to handle that. And so I feel like there are some teachers that need to go on and retire and maybe go into retail, or they need to give up. They're just not patient. One of my children had a teacher who would scream and almost like she taught by intimidation. And that's the year where I wound up having to pull him out completely. She ruined him for school and teachers in general for the most part. So can you come help me with this over here, please?
Yeah, what do you do?
I've pressed this right here and now I can't read her comment.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, right here, honey.
Okay, move your finger.
What can't you not see? Okay, now it's there.
Okay.
Okay, my cat caught a baby bunny again. Oh my goodness. Okay. Lots of action tonight. Let's see. I had a horrible school afternoon. I had to call DDS and file privacy breach report. My goodness. I'm sorry, Sarah. Y'all are having, it must be a full moon.
Read it. It's me.
I can't see that, so I don't know why you do that. Can you please stop distracting me now? Go make coffee. Anyway, see, he used to take Adderall, but as soon as I felt he could stop, I took him off. His behavior is wonderful, and he holds his heart on his sleeve. So this teacher really hurt him. Had the whole class laughing. That's terrible. Hey, Cracker Jack. Oh, Sarah and Daisy Joe, I'm so sorry that happened to you guys. Sarah, would you like to come up? I dropped a link there for Daisy Joe, but I'm not sure if she wanted to come up or not. Did you want to come up and talk? I would flip my shit on that teacher. I know. I'm bad about that. I'm bipolar. I lose my temper, so I usually send my husband to handle things like that. And they always make you feel like it's you, I can't stand that shit. Excuse my French, but okay, Sarah, no worries. Either one, if you feel like venting. If not, no big deal. I just wanted to offer the forum for you. But yeah, like I hated freaking school, y'all. And so like when I started having problems at home as a teenager, not listening, wanting to run the streets, and getting in trouble for skipping because I didn't want to be in class. Well, y'all, I had a math teacher tell me, I raised my hand and asked a question. And she said, you might as well put your head down for the rest of the year because you just don't get it. And this was algebra. So I started running around with a tough crowd, smoking pot, drinking California coolers. When there was a game, we'd go, chug California coolers behind the bleachers and shit. And I was getting into trouble and stuff because I didn't care. I felt like I wasn't worth the teacher's time. And that scars you, man. It gives you low self-esteem. And I had older siblings, and I didn't necessarily have thick skin when I got picked on by them. I wanted, I idolized my older siblings. And when they would call me an airhead or a dingbat or that I thought, I'm stupid. Something's wrong with me. I'm not getting this like my friends are. They're not even having to take their book home. I take my book home and it all looks like gobbledygook to me. So I throw it down and I go smoke a joint and say, screw it. I mean, that's pretty much how I felt about school. Hey, mama's baby girl, thanks for coming. I've turned into such a beast bitch when it comes to mine. I do too. See, she'd never get away with that treatment these days. I don't know, not to dox who she is, but she still teaches. So, and well thought of in the community, and gag me with a spoon. You know what I mean? Whatever. Interesting, not to get off on a yada yada, but the crowd she runs with, this teacher that would say things like that. She was, she looked, walked, act like Laverne DeFazio, okay? And if you were just a little bit pretty and popular, she was a bitch. She was a bitch. And she had a daughter who looked like her and didn't get a lot of attention from good-looking guys. She got attention from guys that were athletes because she was an athlete too. But my point is, she had an agenda. She had ulterior motives. She did not need to be a teacher. She needed to be somewhere in a room writing a book, maybe about teaching, maybe about math. But some of these people, they get high and mighty and think their shit don't stink just because they got a damn degree. Give me a freaking break, y'all. Sorry, that's my rant, but that's how I feel about some of these educators. Get off yourself already, Please. So anyway, my other son is 21. He is disabled. He can make good decisions on some things, but his mind is more like a 14-year-old. He has done great, though. Has a beautiful little apartment and a car. I'm proud. That's good. That's good to know because having my son so late in life, and my husband's in his 60s and just diagnosed with dementia, I worry when we're gone, who's going to take care of him? What's going to happen? Because these people out here don't give a shit about your kid like you do, So I worry about that. I worry about, existential things like that. And the world that's going to be here when we do pass on, scares the freaking shit out of me. But then I have a degree, but not for teaching. I don't have anything against you having a degree. I'm just saying some teachers really shouldn't be in teaching, just like some people shouldn't be in customer service and so on and so on and so on. It's just knowing it's time to retire people. This lady needed to retire. She needed to go on and pick up her karaoke career in the bar, because that's what she did on the weekends when she wasn't teaching. She was a karaoke singer in the bar. It was not in the classroom with my child. Excuse me. Feel free to talk, kid. Sorry about that. I mean, Daisy Joe, who is going to take care of our kids when we're gone? And, I see pictures of people I went to high school with, and they're elderly now. You know what I mean? It's like we really are in our last stretch, our last good 20. And because I'm 52. And with so many things out there like C that we're fighting. I know we can't say COVID, but anyway, it's really scary, you know. And like he has siblings, but they're millennial minded. Love you guys, but they're not going to take care of him when I'm gone. They're already living their own life. And, you know, I'll leave it at that. So they do their own thing. It's not like it was when we were younger and we had a responsibility to make sure that the younger siblings were taken care of when our parents passed on. We have not passed that on because it's like they turn 18 and pew, they're gone. You know, you got to beg them to come see you. Beg them, you know. Anyway. When I was a child, the teachers would have been arrested for what they do now. Yeah. Yeah, no, really. It's me. I remember getting hit with a yardstick on my hand for talking. And I mean, it was abuse, for God's sakes. That was physical abuse, you know, and the rule by intimidation shit. That's why they shoot up schools, excuse me, you know, allegedly, whatever, and all in their things. Don't take my crap down. But I'm saying, you know, you can only push someone so far, you know. Luna, my dream was to be a mortician. Got into college and switched, then dropped out because of my first brain surgery. My niece just got done with all of her mortician stuff and is working. Eventually, if they figure out they missed you. Hope so. Switched to nursing, got my prerequisite done in my first semester and never went back. How come you never went back? Daisy Joe, it was a good career choice for me. I was the one weird friend that everyone had because of my job. A teacher tied a kid to a chair. I have some stories. Do you want to come up? It's me. I don't mean to get on my rant about, but I have no respect for the public school system anymore. None. Look at how people spell. All right. Just look in chats and how people spell. And that's our public school systems working for us right there. Yeah. Okay. No problem. I didn't want to be the only one ranting. But y'all know what I mean. Doesn't nobody love your kid like you do. You know, when I was raising my daughter, I had her very young. I got pregnant with her when I was 17, and I turned 18 while I was pregnant. And we kind of grew up together, I guess you could say. So she was my right hand when it came to, when I was in sales and I had to stuff my my brochures. She helped me. She was right there helping me and helping me do the stamps with the stamp machine. And she helped me when I had her siblings. She was right there at the birth, right there with me, helping me. And it never occurred to me that I might have to enter my senior years without her. And I realized how much I depended on her. And sucks. So yeah. I worry. Daisy Joe, my son is homebound through the school, but his classes are on the computer. What's y'all's thought on that Collier woman found murdered? I don't know enough about that. Fill me in. I'm so close to taking him out. Just can't teach. That stuff has left me long ago. I don't teach. Like I said, I unschooled. They need to know reading, writing, and arithmetic. Yeah, I don't know that case either. I feel like I didn't have a choice but to homeschool because both my kids were having suicidal ideation. And, I don't care if they have college degrees. They're alive. They're alive. Do y'all think that it's awfully coincidental that all of us have a child with developmental issues? Do y'all think that's awful coincidental? Come to their house. Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know. Some homebound, they come to your house to help with anything that they need for at least once a week. I've been teaching at home for a couple years, and previously I taught my daughter at home for a year. She was last seen at the dollar store buying a tarp, lighter, a bag, paper towels. She sent a Venmo to her daughter, something with the note saying, "Yes, I saw that." Honestly, it's like that one girl who lied about her abduction because she was really going off to have an affair with her ex-boyfriend. I think it's something like that. Rarely are people abducted for ransom. I mean, I have fired everyone the school has sent to my house. Okay, Sarah, I get that. And take your freaking pencils with you, right? It's crazy. Yeah. See, I think that she maybe was borderline personality disorder and just came up with this crazy ass story so that she could go get her swerve on. For whatever reason, he was involved in that. The guy that she went to go get her swerve on with, he helped her. Yeah. My daughter has ADHD, ADD, and she hasn't seen her doctor since she was 14. She is 20. She's been off the medicine by the people who raised her. Did it help her? Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, let's face it, guys. Ritalin, look up the ingredients. It's the same thing as, if you were to put meth in a pill. Same thing. It rots your teeth out. It does a lot. I used to be addicted to phentermine when I dieted. I trusted my doctor, and he kept putting me on them, and I got hooked on them. Yeah. They're waiting till they do more tests on my little one. with him being 3 months earlier and having seizures, he may be autistic. So I'm just taking one day at a time. It's not the end of the world. They're the sweetest people in the whole world. They love big. Ritalin helped me. It didn't help Mama's baby girl. I understand. Ritalin helped me focus at school. Did it? Phentermine helped me at work, but like I said, I got hardcore addicted to that. It got to where like I couldn't wake up. I just slept so hard, and then I'd pop my pill for the morning. I took one a day, and I know that doesn't sound like an addiction, but I felt dependent on it to get through my day, whether I was on a diet or not. So to me, that's addictive. My son gets mean on Adderall, always grumpy. Ritalin made me tired. I was over-medicated at school. Ritalin helped my daughter, but I wasn't too fond of giving it to her. I agree. I can help with any questions since that's my life. We were up at Boston Children's today for more damn testing. I'm sorry, Sarah. Do y'all think that it's awfully strange that every single one of us here in chat, kind of coincidental? Sarah, if you don't mind me asking, are you a single parent? It sounds like you're a single parent. Boarding school and foster homes tend to over-medicate. I know. I don't know. Just keep open dialogue for one thing. I wrote the test on that woman above. It's a weird case. I took Fen years ago, lost a lot of weight. Yes. And now I have heart problems. Like Daisy Joe, I don't know why this stuff makes me cry. Sorry. But it does. I had congestive heart failure when I gave birth to my youngest. He's 13. And I had a blood clot on my left lung. And they bring him in to say your final goodbyes. You're going to ICU. This brand new baby you've got, we can't let you take care of because you're in ICU. But anyway, and I talked to my doctor, and they said, yes, it absolutely could have come from years of phentermine abuse. I didn't really abuse it, though. I took it one a day. But I had to take that one a day, or I couldn't function. I thought I couldn't function. I was, just, it's speed, for God's sakes. That's what it is. It's speed. There's a reason we all found each other. I agree. I thought of using my channel for special needs support group. I would love that, Sarah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If we could each, find our own little, and go in each other's chat, one right after the other, that would be great. Then we're really supporting each other, and we're also growing as individuals. We always get sidetracked, don't we? We started off with weird death row meals, and now we're talking about our babies. When you think about, leaving Earth, God forbid, like, the topic tonight of the show, it really gets you thinking about, well, do I have my ducks in a row if something were to happen? I'm going to make my prints a couple grilled cheese. It seems like I'm not here in chat. I'm listening. I'll be back chatting in a few. I want to share what meds work for what and treatments and behaviors. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I think that we would all benefit from you doing that, Sarah, on your channel. I'm sorry, .com. I'm sorry. I'm in my feelings here. It seems like since my grandson, he homeschooled and graduated in March, and we found ourselves in a bad predicament and had mold in our apartment, and it forced us into a hotel for a couple of months waiting on this one. And he just wasn't feeling, being 18, cooped up in a hotel room with his grandparents. And so he beat his feet and went down to about 2 hours away. And it has just been killing me. I mean, I get in my head, my anxiety, the thoughts race of the things that could happen, might happen, or I'm not going to be there to witness and see or experience with them or see them. And it makes me panic. And I feel like I want to take off running. When I get panicky like that, I want to take off running. I worry about that. Like if something happens to my husband, I would have no clue about anything. Same here. Because I lost my cookies. Well, I mean, we're both business-minded people, and we both come from an executive sales background. But I went completely bonkers when she was murdered because I wasn't prepared for that. I thought that we might have to get her in rehab. I might have to fight off a dealer here or there. She might do a month or two for some petty crap. It never, ever occurred to me that she would get killed. I don't know why. It just didn't occur to me. I thought of an OD maybe, and she would be put in the hospital and be forced to rehab. I was in denial about how rough the crowd was she was running with, I guess. I just in denial that she could handle herself, I thought she's tough, she's got it. She's tough, but she didn't have it at all. And I think, am I thinking that he's okay to go off and do this or I don't know. I'm so, beside myself with all this, and so here I am talking to you guys so I don't go crazy or Ing.
Yeah.
Shun.
Yeah.
So like when I lost my cookies, my husband really stepped in and did everything when it comes to like making phone calls, making appointments, calling and getting prescriptions, getting, tires for the car, going and getting the bills paid, and everything fell on him. But he was gone morning, noon, and night at a car dealership. So even though he handled all that, I was left alone morning, noon, and night with the children and my thoughts. And the meds they had me on sometimes kept me in such a fog, or then I had akathisia and I couldn't sit the hell still, or it was like I was so sedated. There's drool coming out the side of my mouth, and I'm trying to take care of 2 kids. So I had a lot of panic, well, if I take my meds, I'm going to be too sedated. If I don't take my meds, I'm going to have these racing thoughts. And it was just hell for a good long bit. So yeah, I know what you mean. And like, I don't drive. I lost my license back in 2000, I think, drinking and driving. And I never went and got my license back. And 20 years later, here I sit, and I got to get my damn license back because he's got dementia. And what am I going to do? So I've got to like figure all this stuff out, and I'm panicking about that. So it's like,
Well, quit drinking that.
yeah. Daisy Joe, my heart breaks for you, hon. Yeah, this no coincidence, sweetie. Is rough sometimes. I have one more year with my son home. I'm really going to be lost. I guess I was in denial. I mean, I just was not prepared for it, but I knew it was coming. I knew it's a necessity. He's making really good choices. And I hate that I project my panic and worry onto him based off what happened to his mom. So I'm really trying to step back and not hover and not text him every 50 seconds. But I don't know, man. So I'm so glad we're talking about this stuff because these are real issues that are real. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't think like rap is even really fucking real. Excuse my French, but this fictional character over here, I'm wasting too much time on. I need to like worry about what's in my own house and what's going on in my own life. And I just like, I think, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like we're chasing this like going Skype hunting. Was that the word, Skype hunting? Snipe hunting? Yeah, that too, snipe hunting. Yeah, and the snipes never come. Yeah. Justice is never coming. It's been how many years? Yeah, there's no charges, there's no nothing. So it's kind of like waiting for J.R. Ewing and Cliff Barnes to finally get along, It never ends. It's never ending. And yeah, I got sucked into the rabbit hole. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I wasted way too much time I could have been spending with my grandson before he left. And here I am, Ernie Shell, rap. And I'm thinking, what did I do? You know what I mean? He never even been over to my channel. What am I doing? And then I'm like watching White Rabbit the other day. And she said, I love y'all guys to death and all. But she said, don't white knight for somebody else and somebody else's channel. You white knight for yourself and your channel. Because while you're boosting someone else up, you're not you. You're falling further and further behind. And I thought, wow, that is an interesting take on that. Don't ever white knight for someone else. And I feel like that is exactly what I've been wasting my time doing. And then it's like, I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on all that? Yeah, the den, snipe hunting. I feel like I've been on a snipe hunt with my pillowcase out. I feel like a damn fool. That's what I feel like. I mean, maybe that's the act. I mean, maybe that's the whole show. The whole act is virtual reality, but he's not virtually doing anything about it, and it's old. You've beaten that damn horse to death. Okay, you're never going to get Nicolina, you're never going to get BK, you're never going to get rap. Can we do something else? Like maybe go on location from the flea market in New York City. Maybe show us some knockoff Louis Vuitton. Maybe show us some good damn shit in New York City instead of this crap. This ongoing fight, like I said, between JR and Cliff Barnes that never friggin' ends. I'm sorry I cuss a lot, but, my dad was a sailor.
Yeah.
And my mom was from Wilkes County, so it costs a lot. But yeah, Audrey, I'm like, can we do something? Y'all, okay. All right. I'm just going to,
Oh,
I even said in chat today, please stop. Why don't you just hire a writer to write your shows for you or give you some ideas? Because this has been beaten to death. We're saying this goes all the way back with Nicolina, all the way back to MySpace. Come on, guys. Okay. And then at the end of them cussing each other out, it's bye. I mean, that's kind of like when you see Bigfoot and he waves at the camera. Come on. Yeah, Audrey says I'm tired of the bullshit. I want to see some entertaining stuff. You're in the city for entertainment. Take us to New York City Music Hall. Take us to see a show. Take us to see Circus du Soleil. Take us to see someone in a recording studio. Take us to see, like I said, the flea market in NYC is just a show by itself. Do those things. But leave this arguing between rap and all this stuff. It's like, my God. That's why I started visiting other channels. It's because it's not entertaining anymore. And White Rabbit, she went on location to a flea market. That's fun. I like to thrift. That to me was entertaining. So you know what I'm saying? And so that's just how, that's where I'm at with that. I'm so, unless you're really going to do something with Summer Wells or something, if you're really not going to be in that genre, you're not going to wear that hat and be that hero for us, then entertain us. Tap dance, son, tap dance. They used to call it in sales, your dog and pony. Okay. Well, what we're doing, my husband and I, we're only at a couple of subs. We're only at a couple of people in chat, but we create something, create something, or pay somebody to do it for you. I know some creators that pay to have an intro or to pay to have some form of a show, some ideas and that sort of thing. You have departments, you have a marketing department. That's the person that's going to take care of all of your widgets that you sell with your name on it. Anyway, I'm getting off. Mostly trolls calling him liar again, just wondering what was up. Okay. Just watched Jimbo's live from last night that he unprivated. He made it public today, and that'll bring you up to speed. It's me on all the buzz on the street. It's all clicks, views, and money. This Audrey. Well, hell, I want to get my own clicks, views, and money. It's all wrong. Nothing but drama. I agree, Audrey. And it's killing us little channels. Network marketing does not work if it's only ran by a couple people. You know what I mean? You have to make everybody count just like a team. And you have to run your network marketing team like you do a coach. Organization, like Coach said, was it yesterday or today? This is my schedule. This is what you can see when you come to my channel on Monday night. This is what you'll see when you come to my channel on Thursday night. He's organized. He's put some thought into it, and he creates. He's put some thought into what should I do my show about. Well, the Avery case was great. I love going over old cases like that. That was an awesome show. Had nothing to do with Benny Rapp or Nicolina. Those are good shows. And when they say, oh, well, our chat just jumped, but they're bots. Go read their spelling. They're bots. They're not even real people. I didn't watch it. Maybe I won't. I might sample a part of it. I don't know. It's pretty long. Okay, start where you see Mama T and BK on panel with Jimbo all the way to the end, because at the end, Jimbo makes some really good points. If you want to know all the dirt that's happening today and what all the chatter is about, that sums it up. I think it took, an hour to watch?
Less than that.
Less than an hour to watch, Sarah. So, because I fell asleep. I'm old, and when I get my belly full, I fall out, and I had to go watch it.
Speaking of, our last meal is ready.
Seems like drama is the going thing. If you're not drama, you have to go out to New Community and YouTube to get different viewers, I think. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I have to. Hi, Gypsy. I'm driving. Hey, thanks for coming, October baby. Not only that, but when I'm on YouTube, I don't necessarily want to worry. And like when I was in Dazed and Confused, I think is the name of her channel, Dazed something. Her name's, what is her name? Anyway, she karaoke's. And White Rabbit was in there karaokeing with her. That's fun. Nobody's talking about anything stressful. Nobody's, there's no mind screwing going on. You're just singing. And that to me is entertaining. So I'm jotting down notes. Well, this is how she's doing it. This is, how I should do it if I ever wanted to. Like for Christmas, we would do something like that, caroling or whatever. And, just something fun, you know what I mean? And break away from the drama. You want to know my opinion? Everybody starts off in that drama channel because he's our leader. He's who we follow. I bet if he started off at the flea market in NYC showing us knockoff stuff that they sell there or whatever, we would still be in chat listening because he's who we follow. He's making a choice to make it about the same old. So you see what I'm saying? We would still be there because we support him. He's entertaining. He's good looking. He's eye candy. He's a great front man for anything. My point is, you're wasting it, man. If you were my protege, this is what I would do with you. If you were my baby doll. And, those are just ideas that I'm like, gosh, he would be great at this. Oh, and then you go over there and it's this. You know what I mean?
Jimbo's in chat.
Okay.
Ask him what his last meal would be.
What would your last meal be, Jimbo? You think they come in more when the drama is going on? Do you think that they come in when the drama is going on because they're hoping for a finite ending? Do you think they're on the edge of their seats? He said fried potatoes and meatloaf. Ooh, that's one of your favorites, meatloaf. Do you think that, what was I saying? Like on the edge of your seat, like a cliffhanger. Like, did you come Saturday morning because last Saturday morning he was jumping the cliff? Did you come this Saturday because you wanted to see him land? You know what I mean? Like, I stopped watching soap operas that just continued the same storyline. I felt like I was wasting days off the calendar of my life because there was never a hoorah moment. It was always bring you to the edge of bring you to the edge and, And so it's like, come on, at some point end the damn movie and let's move on to the next movie. You know what I mean? There's going to be fallout from it because Nicolina is playing it right now. Well, you know how I solved that problem not happening over here? I have Nicolina blocked. I have Rap blocked. I don't have Benny blocked anymore because I don't think he really shows his ass anymore. And I think he's really, sincere about some stuff. And he seems to know what to do when it comes to building his channel. So I'm curious. I want to learn. Yeah, I block them people. I ain't got time for that. I got other things I want to do in life before I die. I'm in my last stretch of life, and that ain't how I'm going to spend it. Absolutely. I'm still hoping that there's a story that catches Ernie's eye up there in New York, because like I said, he is an entertainment mecca right there. All kinds of things he could be taking us on location to see. My ex-husband is from there, and it was part of my territory for a while. And so there's all kinds of things to see and do and experience that we could see through his lens. Like I know, let's say BDAC is homebound and he can't, that's something that he would like to watch, I bet, And I'm just throwing him out there because I know he's homebound. The one lady last night, I can't remember her name, on Mama T's blew me away. Who? I wish we had a stand-up comedian among us. That would be awesome, as a reprieve from all these stressful lives. A good comedic relief would be nice after long lives, wouldn't it? I keep wanting Ernie to win and have a happy ending from the bullying, but it seems like that's only in the movies. Nothing ever changes, and I'm over that. Yeah. I'm always going to be in his chat. I'm always going to be, rooting him on, but what a waste. There's just, my mind goes, brrr, thinking of things that, oh, he should do this, or, oh, he should do that, and this. Let's talk about rap, Yeah, just seeing a mountain or a river is exciting. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I would love to see that. She's so pretty. She's upbeat and positive and, always smiling and laughing. And, oh, you do, Sarah? It sounds exactly. Why aren't we doing it?
What?
Yeah, why aren't we doing that, y'all? That's awesome. Yeah, I love Sarah to death. When she's on panel, she really handles herself really well. Daisy Joe and that lady was screaming, did you hear me come in, talk about my pizza? She stopped and asked if I had meat on it, and the fight stopped for a few minutes. What are y'all talking about? You're talking about Rose? You do dry humor kind of guy. My brother is like that. I never know if he's like telling the truth or not. Yeah. Your accent, you sound exactly like Woody Allen to me. He's one of my all-time favorites, even though all that happened. I love Mia Farrow. Because I relate. I'm so anxious like that. And I'm like so what's that show? Dun, 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 dun.
The Odd Couple.
Yeah, we're the odd couple. Like he's sloppy and I'm like OCD. I want to be a neat freak. I want him to be a neat freak for me. It's more like it. The crazy lady on Mama T's. I'm trying to remember bipolar Sarah. Sarah, you remind me of my sister-in-law. I'm embarrassed I got so triggered I showed my bad side. I don't ever have a topic. I just let the conversation go where it wants. You know, that's the best kind when you do that. Improv chatting to me, especially at the end of a long day, is awesome because you just let the chat direct what you're going to talk about, you know? And sometimes those are the best ones. Sarah, that was hilarious. God, I'm trying to remember. I fell asleep and I'll leave it on. So I'm like in and out of consciousness. I thought at some point it was Rose. Was it not? And she was like calling Benny Pan or the goat. You know, it's weird. Nicolina looks and her funny part reminds me of one of my good friends. Now I'm like, she better not be like Nicolina. Don't you kind of think Nicolina is playing a role, though? You think she might be a LARPing actress? You know? And that might be how they get away with a lot, you know? There's less liability if you claim that you're a YouTube actor, like Johnny Knoxville. All he had to do was say, oh, yeah, I'm a YouTube actor. And he didn't have to pick up those cans that he knocked over at the grocery store. And he didn't get charged with anything either. So... And you know, when I hear her sing, I think she's got some entertainment background. She's got some drama. Theater, I guess is what I'm trying to say, background. Does anyone know if that live from Jimbo last night is still up? He's in chat. Yeah, it's still up. Yeah. Did any of you see it? No, Nick is a cold, bitter, evil soul. You think so? You don't think that that's all an act? Daisy Jo says she doesn't see it. I think it's called Bloody Harlan. Bloody Harlan. My husband and I have thought about this quite a lot, and you don't see it.
I'll go look. I'll drop a link.
It's members only now.
Is it?
Okay, I tried to make it members only so Nicolina would have to pay.
Okay.
Then when I would have to just made it private, but she's playing it for the world. Okay, so it's members only. I want to upgrade membership to see a call that Jimbo did, but my phone won't work. Yeah, that's smart. Isn't it the interview room who does that a lot? So he doesn't have trolls when he does his live. He does it members only. I think that you have to be a member to make a comment that you can watch. Isn't it the interview room that does that too? Which explains, you know, why he doesn't have a troll problem or any drama. Jimbo, that sucks because they only play videos to mock, laugh at, and tear apart. But they're trolls. That's what they do. I mean, they call themselves trolls. Tornadoes are breaking out in Florida right now. Are you in Florida, Daisy Joe?
Alicia is.
Do you want to put prayers in the chat for Alicia and everyone else in the Florida path of the storm? My dad is in Ocala. You know, I think another reason that we are so drawn to Ernie is because we're so desperate as a nation for a hero, you know, and especially when it comes to bullying or child cases, we're looking for a hero, and he's all we got right now. He's all we got. When Ernie probated his videos, had to watch them on troll channels to see what Ernie said and give them views. So if they play it anyway, just give yourself the views. I think she's saying in private it. Bullhorn Betty is riding it out too. Oh, is she in Florida? I didn't realize that. It will make zero difference what the video is about. Nick will turn it to benefit her need for misery. Yeah. Nurse Cratchit.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, prayers to everyone down there in that area. .com, it was public. Nick777 downloaded and is playing it. I tried to make it members only, which it is now, and now it is, but too late. Okay. Thank you for coming, by the way, Jimbo. I watched her last night to see if she said anything about me. Just curious. But she is so desperate for content of others. You know, why is she desperate? It's so easy to come up with a topic. There's so much to talk about with strangers that you've never talked to about anything with. You know? So to me, it's like, oh gosh, that's something that I've always wanted to talk to somebody about. Or, oh gosh, that's something else. You know, I mean, just talk about life experiences for God's sakes. Or like Seinfeld, it was a show about nothing. You know what I mean? I think once we get in the groove of doing actual shows about topics, that all that will fall by the wayside, don't y'all? I mean, because like even Jamie said today, people are bored with it. You know, it's the same storyline for how long now? Ernie is not perfect, but he has the heart, soul to make a difference. That's why I support him. Absolutely. To me, he also represents the underdog, which speaks to me. He's so marketable. There's so many things that he could even like be the next John Walsh, you know? I mean, is that show even on? I would love to see that show again. If he did his own, you know, version of America's Most Wanted, I would watch it with him. He's entertaining. He's a great front man. I came to a realization that the Ernie YouTube drama community was all built around Ernie bashing. Yeah, that's not healthy. Not when he has so much potential. She's a rotten human. I was infuriated when she tried to bring her daughter on Mama T. Nunya. Why bring your kid into adult online fights and matters as a pawn? That was wrong on so many levels. Think about how many channels either bash or save Ernie. It's me. Do you think that that is a diversion so we'll stop saving Summer? How can we save Summer if we're busy saving Ernie? Do you think they do this to get our minds off what we actually came here for? Do you think it's a diversion? It was hilarious last night. She waited forever backstage on Mama T to come up, but was never allowed after the first time. Daisy joked, I loved how she was denied backstage. Why are hate channels allowed? They consider it free speech and commentary. I mean, think about it. They've always roasted people, you know? And I think that YouTubers have to think of themselves as open game as celebrities in the smallest sense. Fact is, Nicolina is a horrible human, as is Rap. They both need God to move in their lives, but they denounce him daily. Ernie allows them to continue to be on his sub minds and on his panel. It drives me crazy. It's got to stop. I agree. I'm so on, your wavelength, Jimbo. You get it. You get it all. You're a coach and you get team, the importance of everyone on a team and supporting the quarterback and how important every position is on that field. And you're organized, you get the big picture. You know that you shouldn't go live if you're checking people out at the Circle K and they're all pumping gas and that thing's going off constantly. Okay. Wait till your shift is over at the Circle K, sit down with a cup of coffee, and then go live and tell everybody at home, leave me the hell alone until I'm off live. Anyway. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be as, because you got to laugh at it. It's just too freaking funny because it's like, is that really what's happening? It's like, golly. I don't know. And can I just vent about last night, y'all, about the award ceremony or whatever the hell that was? I'm having a show on Chinese feet binding, guys. You got to give me creative. You got to give me creative. Just kidding. Who can think of that? Hate channels in this day and age should not be tolerated. I agree, but they want to say it's free speech. So at what point is free speech not free speech anymore? We need intervention with Ernie. No more allowing them on his channel. He said he wasn't going to allow it anymore, but we are going to need someone thumping him upside the head. You didn't say that, I did. When he wants to let them up. That gets, yes, it does. I did Gypsy, then drama took over and the game got messed up. If this were a real ball game, we are getting caught up on who came and stole the mascot. Basically, we're getting caught up on who stole the mascot. If Ernie allowed Nicolina on his panel and everyone leaves the live, I guarantee you Ernie won't continue to allow her on panel. But they are hoping and holding out for a hero. They are holding out for him to finally say, I gotcha, and that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. So, unfortunately, they're all, biting their, hoping that this is the moment. This is it. This is it. This is where he says, I've got you now. Here's proof. You're going to jail. Well, that's never going to happen, guys. Or it would have back during my space, These glasses make me look like I can see into the future. These are my bifocals, and I made them big, so I could see big, but God, they really make my eyes look huge. Creators need to realize you will never see Nicolina. Honey, I got her blocked. Why? I don't have enough Xanax for that. Creators need to realize that if we as subs give a damn about what they had to say, we would go watch them. I don't go to Ernie's to watch 666 rap. I don't go to Mama T to see Snail Slayer. Yeah, I don't understand that. If we wanted to go there, we would go to their channel. So I don't understand that. That's where I'm thinking, is he insecure about being able to write his own shows? Is that why he keeps going back and falling into that rut? Because he was doing good, even though that guy stalked him. When he went live and he was at that street food, I liked that. If he hadn't had that stalker, that was great footage. And he even got a lot of views from it. So, go back to doing, on location stuff. I dig that, especially when I can't get out and go do. I'm going to watch on location stuff, and I would watch it because he's cute. I want to watch, and I don't want to watch him when he throws up that screen. When we do this right here, stop doing that. Stop doing that. He's good looking. We want to see him, Same thing with Jimbo. We want to see you. Even if you think you don't look good, we don't care. You're like our family. We want to see you. It makes us feel good. Makes us feel like, oh, I saw him today. It brings you into our home, and we want to offer you coffee. And it to me, it makes all the difference whether I stay with my attention and my ADD. I feel more connected to you if I can see you, and your facial expressions. And, like Benny, he's walking around doing stuff, he's putting stuff in the dishwasher and stuff. He's cooking, but we're getting to see him in action and how he lives. Well, a window into his life and who he really is. Daisy Joe, that's why I first went up on panel. Oh, I lost it. But 2 in the chat if you want Rap and Ash to leave. I try to support a lot of folks' channels, but when I see trouble coming at you, yes, it's not good for our nervous system. It's not. And we don't need the mind screw. Our government's doing that enough to us every day, ain't they? Some allegeds up there, because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Feels more personal. Yes. I watch Brandon to exercise. I want to start working out again. I do watch him, but he's great too. Yeah, he's good looking, and he's such a family guy. I love that, and when I support him, he supports me back. That's how it works. That's how network marketing works. It's the I scratch your back, you scratch me. It's not, I come to every single live you have, even though they're 8, 9, 10 hours long. I mod for you, but you've only been to one of mine. And the minute you got there, you jumped down because you had to go do something. I don't feel support and love over here. You know? I've always thought Jimbo was cuter than Ernie. Yes. We don't watch Brandon to exercise. I already saw that. More personable, yes. We should help Brandon more with views. Yes, we should. He's a good guy. And he gets the concept of network marketing. It's me. I tell people I do. I felt that. Yeah. So that's my 10 cents. On all that. I mean, I can only say so much in chat, and then I want to, like, you know, just when I was in sales, I was in sales for about 5 straight years, and I started to train one of my friends. He was in accounting, and I saw myself in him. He was younger than me. And he was charming and good looking and wet behind the ears in a way that made him charming. And I thought to myself, boy, you're really going to go places because you've got it. You've got that thing. And he did. He did. He totally surpassed me because I had other issues in my life that I strayed from my career. But he stood with it. And when I think of Ernie, because he is so much younger than me, I think of it as in a protege kind of way. Gosh, the things that you could go do and be doing and not this. And it's a shame because, you know, there's only a certain amount of time when you have that look and you have that pizzazz in the entertainment industry. And then you start to slowly lose it with your age. So now's that time when he needs to capture it and really, you know, not waste it on this, you know. I don't know. Maybe he makes enough money doing this. Maybe this is what he wants to be doing. Maybe this is what he enjoys doing. Maybe he doesn't care if we're enjoying it or not. This is something he has to do. Maybe this is his mission, his plight, and I'm, you know, still going to support him, you know. I just don't understand it myself. Yeah. Okay, well, my husband's saying it's time to get the turkey out of the oven, so I guess I'm going to go get me a turkey leg. I think Jimbo goes on next at 9. Is that right? So I will meet you all over at the stand. Thank you all for coming, and y'all have a good night.